Have you ever wondered about the most beautiful garden that ever existed? A garden so lush, so vibrant, it was called the Garden of Eden. This was no ordinary garden, mind you. It was a special place, created with love and care by God Himself. It was filled to the brim with the most gorgeous flowers you could ever imagine, and trees laden with delicious fruits. In this garden lived the first two people, Adam and Eve. They were happy and content, with all they could ever need within their reach. The air was always fresh, the sun always warm, and the sound of the flowing river was music to their ears. But there was one rule they had to follow. In the middle of the garden stood the tree of knowledge, and God had told Adam and Eve not to eat its fruit. They were free to enjoy everything else, but that one tree was off limits. But then something happened that changed everything for Adam and Eve. Imagine being given a divine instruction that could save your life and the lives of countless creatures. That Noah's predicament. God, the supreme power, instructed Noah to build an enormous ark. This was not just any ark, but a colossal structure designed to weather the most destructive storm. Noah, trusting in God's wisdom, began the daunting task. With the help of his family, he toiled at night, shaping every beam, laying down every plank until the ark stood tall and mighty, ready for its purpose. But building the ark was just half the mission. Noah was also instructed to gather animals of every kind. With his family, Noah embarked on a quest to gather pairs of every creature, big and small, predator and prey. This grand menagerie was to be the seed of all future life on Earth. Even as the animals arrived in pairs, some docile, some wild, Noah and his family welcomed them into the ark. And then, the sky darkened. The first droplets of rain began to fall. This was not just any rain, but the beginning of a deluge that would engulf the entire earth. Noah, his family, and the animals took refuge in the ark. As torrential rains poured down and the waters rose, the ark began its voyage. Raised high by the floodwaters, Noah's ark sailed across the drowned world. Their journey was not just about survival. It was about hope, faith, and the promise of a new beginning. Just like that, a new chapter in the world's story began. What do you think happens when rules are broken? Let's find out. Imagine a beautiful, perfect garden where everything was in harmony. This was the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve lived. But something changed. God, who sees and knows all, discovered that Adam and Eve had disobeyed his one rule. They had eaten from the tree of knowledge, the only tree from which they were told not to eat. When God found out, he was disappointed. He had given them everything, and yet they had chosen to disobey his one rule. As a result, there were consequences. Adam and Eve were banished from the Garden of Eden. The lush, comfortable life they knew was replaced with hard work and toil. Their days of leisure were over, replaced by sweat and struggle. You see, actions have consequences, especially when they involve breaking rules that were made for our own good. Adam and Eve learned this the hard way. They lost their beautiful home and the easy life they once knew. But even in their disobedience, there was a glimmer of hope. God, in his infinite love, didn't abandon them. He continued to love Adam and Eve, even though they had made a mistake. Despite their actions, God still loved Adam and Eve, but their lives were never the same. So what can we learn from Adam and Eve's story? From this captivating tale, we see that every action we take holds a significant weight. Adam and Eve's story reminds us of the importance of obedience. When they ventured to take a bite from the forbidden fruit, they broke a rule and faced the consequences. This isn't just about a fruit in a garden. It's about understanding that rules are there to guide us, not to restrict us. However, their story doesn't end with disobedience. It also teaches us about forgiveness. Even when they made a mistake, they were offered a chance to learn and grow from it. Yes, there were consequences, but there was also forgiveness and a chance to start anew. So, as we journey through life, let's remember this lesson from Adam and Eve. Let's strive to understand the rules, respect them, and learn from our mistakes. Remember, every choice comes with a consequence, so choose wisely.